Well, hello everyone, JW here, and welcome to the Arid Animal Pack. Quite possibly my favourite animal pack so far, and we'll get on to why in just a second. It looks absolutely amazing. So we're just going to start on the Frontier forums, and we're going to try and keep all cool and not get all fanboy about it, because it's fine. Heyo zookeepers, things are heating up in Planet Zoo with the new Planet Zoo Arid Animal Pack coming to a Steam store near you on the 20th of June alongside Free Update 1.14. Under the harsh heat of the desert, life still arises and persists. Look out over the dunes and through the sands to discover some miraculous creatures who have adapted to the difficult conditions of these scorching lands. Be on the lookout for a dromedary camel wandering across the desert, while the elegant Adax and Gazelle hunt for edible shrubs, grasses, and leaves to snack on. Peer a little closer to the ground, and you might catch a glimpse of the prickly African crested porcupine or the shy and elusive sand cat. The black rhino can also be found munching on leafy plants, branches, and fruit, while the well-adapted Somali wild ass rests in the shade to get some refuge from the scorching sun. Rounding out the cast is the sleek and impressive desert horned viper, our exhibit animal for this pack. The Arid Animal Pack is a celebration of fauna living in the arid lands, with 8 impressive animals that all have ways to overcome the hardships of the heat. And our first image, which you will see on screen now, is the African crested porcupine. And oh god, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I don't have anything to say other than that. It just looks amazing. The story of socialite turned conservationist Tiffany Summers continues in a brand new narrative scenario included in the DLC. You'll be joining Tiffany in her next adventure, building a zoo in the Middle East and throwing a big party for when it officially opens, celebrating all the wonderful animals you've taken care of throughout her journey. You can expect several animals from the Arid Animal Pack to show up in this new narrative scenario. And then we've got an image, which you can see on screen, of the scenario map. Now, the way this reads, to me at least, it seems very final. This is probably going to be the last narrative thing that we get. So you'll be joining Tiffany in her next adventure, building a zoo in the Middle East and throwing a big party for when it officially opens, celebrating all the wonderful animals you've taken care of throughout her journey. So that would be the Tropical Pack, the Grasslands Pack, and this one. I think that's it, isn't it? The one for Tiffany. Grasslands, Tropical, and this one. I think. Is that it? Anyway, it just sounds very final to me. You know, celebrating all the wonderful animals you've taken care of throughout her journey. So maybe this is the last narrative scenario we're going to get. Who knows? Looking at the image though, it's hard to pick out anything new. Obviously there's the dromedary camels, and we've got a new path in there. So I can tell that much. We'll have a closer look later on. The Planet Zoo Arid Animal Pack will be available for purchase for £7.99, $9.99, €9.99 on Steam from the 20th of June. If you want to be notified when the game is available, head over to Steam and wishlist it now. Please remember that you'll only be able to enjoy the Planet Zoo Arid Animal Pack if you already own the base game Planet Zoo. Head over to social media in the run-up to the release for the return of Zookeeper Steve. This time he's off on another research trip and has set up camp in an arid landscape to observe the animals living there. He'll need your help to document them all, so keep an eye out for all the animal reveals as they come by his hidey hole. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. If you missed our special live stream yesterday, you can check it out here. Don't forget the launch celebration live stream, where we'll be checking out the Arid Animal Pack in even greater detail and check in with all the different animals. We're kicking things off at 5 PM British Standard Time on the 20th of June on Twitch and YouTube. We'll be joined by some friends from the Planet Zoo dev team. See you there. We look forward to exploring with you and Zookeeper Steve. Tell us what you're more excited for below. So that's everything from the Frontier forums. Now we're going to check out the Steam workshop, because it actually gives us a little bit more detail. So we have an animation section on the Steam workshop. So all new animations. Enjoy watching your new animals settle into your zoo and marvel at their unique behaviours. Make sure guests keep a respectful distance from the dromedary camel. If unnerved, this proud animal has been known to spit at nearby visitors. On a sweeter note, you will also catch sight of the endearing sandcat, one of the smallest species in Planet Zoo. This feline will use enrichment items such as the rubbing pads and the cardboard box in a wholly unique way, whilst the shy African crested porcupine will enjoy burrowing and exploring its habitat, but might raise its impressive quills if feeling cautious. Watch the Somali wildass trot with delight. Hear them bray as they communicate with each other. Pay close attention and satisfy the wants and needs of these incredible creatures. To see them thrive under your care. And then a little bit more detail about the scenario. Ready to face the heat? Make your way to the arid landscape of the Arabian desert for this new campaign scenario and meet again with your favourite protégée, Tiffany Summers. She has received a brand new plot of land from her father and is convinced that she has what it takes to transform it into one of the world's most magnificent zoos. Help her prepare for the opening of her new park and throw a big party to celebrate. So the animals then, we'll start with the Somali wild ass. It's a subspecies of the African wild ass and it is critically endangered. There could be less than 700 left in the wild. There are approximately under 300 individuals living in 34 zoos across the world. So even in captivity, it's not that common. So I'm really glad we've got the Somali wild ass. It was on my list. It's pretty low down on my list, but it was on my list. So I'm glad we've got that one. We can check that one off. So of course, the crested porcupine, we saw that in the trailer. Is least concern. I did want it. It was on my list. And lots of other people wanted it as well. And it looks absolutely amazing. I've already said it earlier in the video. It just looks amazing. Like they've really captured the essence of this animal. Just bravo, Frontier. Bravo. The Dharma Gazelle then. Striking animal. Really striking animal. It's got this sort of white legs that fade into this sort of mottled brown body, and then it gets really sort of dark, intense brown on the neck. It's a really striking animal to look at. I'm really impressed. Again, critically endangered. Very impressed with this pack. Very impressed. It's got high conservation value. It's got a lot of really unique animals in it as well. So the Dharma Gazelle, probably to the surprise of absolutely no one, is a species of gazelle. It can be found in the Sahara Desert in Africa and also the Sahel. Its former range has been decimated by habitat loss, and populations there have been further hounded by overhunting. There are only populations in Niger, Chad and Mali. It eats grasses and leaves, shoots and fruit, and it prefers sort of mountain plateaus, open savanna, semi-deserts, shrubland and dry grasslands. Super happy to be getting this animal. It wasn't actually on my list, but it looks amazing. I can't wait to see what it looks like in the game, but I don't doubt at all that Frontier will knock it out of the park. I don't doubt it at all. Next one, really excited for this one. Black Rhinoceros. Yes! This was high on my list. I wanted this one, and we've got it, and I don't doubt it's going to look amazing because Frontier have nailed the DLC animals. Again, critically endangered. Love the conservation value of this pack. You're going to hear me gush about this a lot. So you've got various different subspecies. The one I'm most familiar with is the eastern black rhino. They've just called it the black rhino in the game, so I'm assuming it covers all species. I've been lucky enough to see them in captivity. How many have I seen? I think 3 at Yorkshire Wildlife Park, and they're really impressive animals to look at. They're just sort of, I don't want to say they're like tanks because it's just so, everybody says that, but they are. Like, it's just pure muscle coming towards you, and like you can hear their feet hit the ground and the impact of it. Oh, super excited about this one. Yeah, they are found typically in sort of scrubland, low grass savannas, that sort of region. They like to eat sort of sharp grasses and leaves and thorns. They have that hooked lip, which helps them sort of grab things and strip off branches and stuff like that. Because unlike the southern white rhino, black rhinos are browsers, not grazers. So they're not going to eat like low-lying vegetation. They're going to want to rip at leaves and tear things and stuff like that. Oh, don't get me started. I'll gush about animals and we'll be here all day. We're here to talk about Planet Zoo. Sandcat then, one of the most successful predators in the world. Absolutely adorable. It is least concern. It wasn't on my list, but it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I've never seen them in person, unfortunately. I am a massive cat fan, as you all probably know. I have a cat myself, so just, yeah. I'm really happy for this one, and the fact it's got its own set of animations. It's going to interact with sort of some existing enrichment in a different way to how the other animals interact with it. That's going to be really interesting to see as well. But it just looks adorable. Doesn't it look adorable? Yeah. Then we have the Adax, another one that was very high on my list, and we're actually getting it, and it looks amazing. We see it in a couple of screenshots. There'll be something on screen now, I am quite sure. I say a couple of screenshots. We see it in one screenshot, and you also catch a glimpse of it in the trailer, which I will play at the end of the video. But yeah, I have only seen Adax, I think, once in my life. So, and I knew then that they were critically endangered, and I was very lucky to be able to see them. So the fact that we're now able to have them in Planet Zoo, and they look absolutely amazing. Just chef's kiss. Adax, of course, are grazers. They tend to eat leaves of shrubs, bushes, leguminous herbs, so things that are classed as legumes, and grasses as well. They're very well adapted to go long periods of time without water, and typically you find them in herds of sort of anywhere between, I think I saw 4. So I'd let's say 5 for argument's sake. Anywhere from 5. I think the maximum would be somewhere in the 20s. So 20, 21, 22, something along those lines. The males and the females have the twisted horns, and they are sexually dimorphic, so females are smaller than males. So just a beautiful animal, absolutely beautiful animal. Nothing else to say about that one. I'm just really glad we're getting it. It looks amazing. It's going to be going in probably most, if not all, of my zoos. And then the last habitat animal then is the dromedary, also known as the dromedary camel, the one-humped camel, or the Arabian camel. It's actually domesticated. It's found all across sort of northern Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, and also Australia. They are causing some issues in Australia, as I have discovered doing my research for my Australia zone in Dunswell Zoo. Really happy to be finally getting the dromedary camel. You know, there are so many themed items in the game already for the dromedary camel. The fact that we didn't have it was becoming a bit of an issue. So we finally got it, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's going to be spitting as well, which is exactly what we thought was going to happen as per yesterday's revelation for 1.14. Definitely thought we was going to be getting the dromedary camel, since the llamas and the Bactrian camels were getting the spitting behaviour as well. Looks amazing. Probably won't play with it that much in the game. It's not something I can see myself having, just because it is domesticated, and I'm more team Bactrian than I am team dromedary. Wild Bactrian camels, though, not domesticated Bactrian camels. Anyway, yeah, all the habitat animals that we've seen so far look amazing. The only ones they haven't shown us is the Gazelle, the Eastern Black Rhino, and the Somali wild ass. We haven't seen the exhibit animal either, which, of course, brings us to the last animal of this pack. Desert horned viper, also known as the Saharan horned viper, is a venomous viper native to the deserts of North Africa. It can also be found partly on the Arabian Peninsula. It's most recognisable, as the image on the screen would suggest, from the horns above its eyes. Not much to say about these, really. They do look pretty cool. Not sure what they're going to do, because it's an exhibit animal, so we shall see. Is it just gonna act like the other snakes act, or is it gonna have some different animations where it like wind into the sand and stuff like that? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But these snakes are typically found in dry, sandy areas with outcrops. They like fine grained sands, they don't like really coarse sand. They're also found a lot around oases. Reproduction's quite interesting. I don't think Planet Zoo is going to go to this extreme, but they can lay between 8 and 23 eggs. So I don't think you're going to put these in an exhibit and get 23 offspring off them. But where they're going to put the sort of boundary is going to be interesting. Between 8 and 23. Because most of the snakes in the exhibit system already in Planet Zoo, I think they have up to 4, I think it is, something like that. Whereas this is 8 is your minimum. So we'll see how Planet Zoo want to play that, but really, really looking forward to this DLC. It's just... looking on the forums, some people aren't happy that we're still not getting birds, and we're still not getting like baboons and macaques and things like that. I don't mind. Yes, I would have loved a secretary bird, but this is a really solid lineup for a DLC. You know, Black Rhino, yes. Somali wild ass, Adax, Gazelle, all critically endangered. They absolutely have earned their place in Planet Zoo. Sandcat, Porcupine, absolutely amazing looking. They are least concern. Sandcat's going to be really fun to watch, I'd imagine. And with it being one of the smallest animals in Planet Zoo, it's not going to take up an awful lot of space. The Porcupine, lots of people have wanted the Porcupine for a very long time. And then they always throw in like an exhibit animal. Typically, the past sort of few DLCs, that's been a walkthrough habitat. So walkthrough exhibit, sorry. So the sloths, the bats, the butterflies. It's nice to actually go back and see them adding to more exhibits, typical exhibits. But yeah, I'm really happy with the animal lineup. I don't have a favourite. They're all really good. If I had to pick one, no, but I can't pick one. And the dromedary camel people have wanted for a while as well. I think it's nice to actually have the dromedary camel, considering there's so much stuff in the game that's already themed around the dromedary camel. But yeah, I absolutely can't pick just one. It would be a cross between the Adax, the Porcupine, the Sandcat, and the Black Rhino. Because the Black Rhino, the Porcupine, and the Adax were all on my list. But the Sandcat looks amazing, and I am a big cat fan. I don't know, it's just generally my favourite pack so far, and I haven't even got to play it yet. Just, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. It does look like we're getting a new path, and it does look like we're getting a few new plants. I can't say for certain on some of them, but definitely a couple of them look new. Or maybe I've just never used them before. But we're definitely getting a new path. I can see that much from the screenshots. The Sandcat screenshot in particular. That's a new path. With those glass barriers. It looks really modern and really sleek. Yeah. I could just gush about this DLC all day. But I'm not going to, unfortunately. So, Planet Zoo Arid Animal Pack releases on the 20th of June alongside Free Update 1.14. I've been JW. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Really helps me out, helps the channel grow. I will be covering the Arid Animal Pack on day one. I don't get early access, so I'll get it when you guys get it. Yeah, I'm just so excited for this. Let me know what your favourite from this pack is in the comment section below. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at JW_YT. It's such a good pack. Either way, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video. Until then, my friends, stay safe, stay kind, and bye-bye for now.